Creepers! How the heck are you crazy creeps? We are just waiting for the train, which is coming right now. We are heading into Southeast Portland for some movie locations. That's right, Harrison Ford and Brendan Fraser for the 2010 Extraordinary Measures. That's right, based on a true story, filmed right here in Portland. Waiting on the train, heading into Southeast. Stay tuned, it's gonna be a good one. That's right, Han Solo, he was here, Portland, Oregon. Beautiful day, and here comes the train. Alright, just got off the bus. We are here on 39th Cesar Chavez at Laurelhurst Park, one of the most beautiful parks located right here in Southeast Portland. And this is actually my old stomping grounds. Born and raised over off of Harold Street. Worked and lived just right over here off of Belmont for years, so I absolutely love this neighborhood and I'm very fond of this park. And as you can see, it is surrounded by all these beautiful trees, and what makes this park really beautiful is there's a giant duck fountain. Now, we've done many of filming locations in Portland, and there's a huge playlist right up above there, so as soon as you guys watch this, make sure you go back and check out some other filming locations, because we have covered a ton of really cool movies. But this movie with Brendan Fraser and Harrison Ford, I will always remember, because at the time I was actually working downtown and actually ran into Harrison Ford himself as he was kind of doing the production. They had most of the movie production set up at Pioneer Square, and actually ran into him as I was walking around. I actually stopped and asked him for an autograph, but he said he was too busy and actually declined, but said thank you very much. I couldn't remember Harrison Ford, and maybe that's why he was maybe upset. I said Han Solo, and he kind of stopped and said, hey, you know, if I stop, we'll probably have a ton of folks gather around us in seconds. And I do remember seeing video and footage of Brendan Fraser as his time here filming for the movie as well. But I wanted to show you kind of some of the screen use shots from that movie. It wasn't released until about 2010, but the movie was being filmed here in Portland right around 2008, 2009 is that I remember kind of seeing and hearing of it. Working downtown, I was able to kind of be up on what was going on downtown, so that was really helpful. But just right over here next to these benches is where you would have seen Brendan Fraser and a couple of the other actresses, Kerry Russell and Harrison Ford as well, like I've just mentioned. And the story is true. It's based on a book called The Cure, and it's about a disease that affected, in the movie and in real life, Brendan Fraser's character. His son was diagnosed with a really rare form of, I think it's called Pompe disease. And so in the movie, they kind of come here to just talk and just enjoy, really like we are right now, the sights and sounds. And you can see very, very distinctly these benches, and this whole area here as well makes the shot. So I'm going to go back over here and kind of show you guys where that would have been. This is our first shot. Right about here, you would have seen Brendan Fraser sitting right here with the kid in the wheelchair, and they were feeding the ducks. And if you look behind me, you can see, or in the shot behind here, or behind all these benches, you could have seen all these trees and obviously the pond here. And what gave this shot away here is the curvature on the wall right before the water line here kind of wraps around, and all this is overgrown now with the duck pond. But if you look really closely at the wall, it does have that faint little curve there that you would have seen very clearly in the shot. And of course all these benches make the shot as well. And I believe these are the same benches. And in fact, these are the benches. And this green one right here, you can see they're every other color. These have been painted over the years, and I thought they had the handrails, but what I was actually seeing was the handles on the back of the wheelchair in the screen you shot. It kind of looked like the handle was up, but as I looked at it more, I noticed it was actually the handle to the wheelchair, and this would have been the bench right here they would have been sitting on. And what gives it away is you can vaguely see this little tiny green patch of grass here, and this is it right here. This is the bench. And in this shot, Brendan Fraser and them would have been sitting a little bit farther over here on the bench. The little boy in the wheelchair would have been directly in front of the camera would have been directly behind him in the shot, and you would have seen all this behind me, including all these trees, and there was some folks kind of sitting right here on this grass area as well. But all this makes the shot, and including these benches here, the same benches from the movie. Pretty cool. So what's cool about this wide shot here is, like I said, you could have seen them sitting on these benches from the wide angle here, and the curvature of the pond kind of goes up and around. All this is here now, so you can't really see it, but if you look way back behind all these guys doing the Tai Chi, you would have seen this tree kind of hanging out a little bit. I believe that's the shot right about there. This shot would have been a little bit closer. And if you look right behind where these guys are doing Tai Chi, you can see these two trees, and the one tree's kind of got that branch that kind of sticks out. That's the same tree. So cool. All these make the shot, and you can see both these trees very distinctively in the shot, that same pattern. And all this can be seen in the shot as well. Sorry fellas, I don't have any bread. Just a beautiful park. Not as much changes since 2009. Pretty cool that Harrison Ford and Brendan Fraser were actually here in Portland shooting. A lot of it was filmed actually at Pioneer Courthouse Square, where's all the production and all the movie set and trucks and all the lighting was stored. But at one point, Brendan Fraser was right here. That's right, Encino Man himself. And a lot of the movie was filmed right here. You can see a lot of the same screen use shots right here in 2022. It's so cool to me. Hollywood movie magic. In the movie, Harrison Ford plays a kind of an eccentric doctor. And I love when they first introduce his character. He's actually chilling, listening to Grateful Dead. And it kind of just paints a picture of maybe who he is right from the get-go. But he is the doctor that is in charge of trying to help fight and save the youngest child's life with that rare condition, and Brandon Fraser's character is willing to do whatever it takes to save his son from such a weird and rare bone disease, traveling all the way into Portland. A lot of the shots were also filmed at OHSU. I think in the movie it's called something else, but pretty cool to think that all that happened right here in Portland. And it's nice to see that they chose such a beautiful park to shoot some of those scenes. And anytime I do a movie location or filming thing and it's one of my favorite actors or hits close to home, I always enjoy doing it so much, just because I think to myself, how incredibly cool is that Brandon Fraser was actually right here. I said Encino Man earlier, but the reason why I said that too is because that's probably one of the most favorable on my ends, probably his most memorable role as well. That's gonna do it for today from Laurelhurst Park here in Southeast Portland. Extraordinary Measures, Brandon Fraser, Harrison Ford. Just a couple of the scenes from the movie. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did making it. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. You can ring that bell, that way when I creep, you guys will be the first to creep. And if you did enjoy this, give it a thumbs up. You can also share this, and also check the playlist. A lot more movie locations in Oregon on the playlist. Till next time, creeper out for now. Peace.